like, since there's nothing to hide here, it's a way for us even to advertise to the world our streaming to live. To the world are streaming to live.
What's the live stream called on YouTube?
It is training. I'll show it to you. So it is training. And basically you can then, anyone in the world then can be. And what's the advantage for business? That's where we're going to be always talking in the class, Diego, are what are the advantages for a business application? So if you were creating a Zoom, and you all have been in a Zoom session in your life, and now everyone is in the Zoom session here, is one is Zoom limits the amount of people you have, and sometimes we want to make it exclusive. The only people right now that can get in to my Zoom is when I do it are those people that are registered to my classes. But if we wanted to make it, and in this way, you could even make it for a business, you can say, hey, I have my premium customers or clients on the Zoom. They can ask questions. We can interact via our faces. We can get special help, special concierge services, but we can also make it private, that we can have more people. And how many people can be on it? It can be really thousands. And also you don't have to, once they set on live and they give it, they can find us live. Okay, everybody with me this way. Why am I also emphasizing it to you, Justin? Wouldn't it be nice that I want you to be able to know how to do the same thing I am doing? You got it? So for our next assignment, that's what I'm going to be asking you to do, is know the insides and out of Zoom. And everybody's then going to have to set up a YouTube channel, which will take at least 24 hours. And I would like you to basically almost copy exactly like what I do, create a tutorial to show that you know how to record to the computer, record to the cloud, and also create a live stream in YouTube. Okay, so if I share my screen, and I go to my browser, do you see this? Josh, what do you see? On your, where my screen that I'm sharing?
What comment do I see everyone.
Yeah, you've seen everyone, and now it's, guess what? It's a little bit what? Behind, right? It's not fully synced. So in terms of if we were going to forecast trading and somebody was going to follow me in trading, I would want them, and we were doing high frequency trading, this YouTube wouldn't be good enough. But if it's just following a lecture, it doesn't matter if it's behind or not. So you can see that it is then, and it has a YouTube link that it could see what is happening here on YouTube Live. And if I look at my sections here, what do you see now, Josh, is you see our section. Now I'm going to view it as a student. You can see here your announcements, your attendance, the modules, and you can see in the modules, this told us what we needed to do, the Zoom links, the course syllabus, chapter 1, and you can see in chapter 1, these were the assignments to do in chapter 1. Also, you have something called Wiley Course Resources. So in Wiley Course Resources, you can see all the resources depending on, you can see, for instance, chapter 1, if you want more resources, you can see it. Here you can see your PowerPoints, and you can download that. questions. So you see here, I'm sharing, and that is what I'm doing. If I go back to modules, you can see that this is in student view. You are the role of the student. As myself, I'm the instructor here. I have more capabilities where I have people's grades. You have your own grades. I have people's grades, and I have more that I have available based on it. So you can see what is happening here. And also, did you upload that PowerPoint, Lily, that I asked you on the vocab?
He says uploading it.
Okay.
Um,
And where's
Is
it
it
gonna
the
be uploaded to?
The AI vocab on week 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the AI
It's already on
vocab.
there.
Okay. Really,
put it up.
this should be from the first chap. It should be for week 1.
Okay, I can.
If you can be so kind and do that as well. You can put it on both, but put it in the AI vocabulary handout. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave student view. And Lily, you want, since you're gonna be leaving soon, do you want to talk about the second assignment? I'm gonna stop sharing.
Well, it's kind of like our first actual assignment.
Right. Well, our assignment, I talk
it's
about like
like-
the first chapter is, those are assignments. Okay, you're not calling it assignments. What would you call it? Quizzes and readings, right? Our first week.
Yeah, well,
quizzes
it's like
and readings.
it's honestly a little confusing. I was trying to think of like a different name for it.
Yeah, because it really is an assignment, really, what we did the first week, right? What was the assignment for the first week? Would be to do
Well-
the readings of chapter 1, do the adaptive, do the quiz. So maybe, what can we call it then? You think it's a
Yeah,
better?
so well, yeah. So as everyone knows, like each week we're gonna be having an adaptive and a quiz and a reading assignment for you guys to do, but now we're starting what used to be our audit assignments. We're having it more as like just regular assignments. So let me just share like my screen. And so this first assignment is fairly simple. All you're really doing is you're setting up your Zoom account for success for the rest of the semester and your YouTube Live account.
So maybe let's see your entire screen. We don't have to see my face and everyone else twice. Can you just focus in on your yeah, perfect.
Getting there. And so this is, you'll see this within your week 2 like module. This is like a sample assignment on how like we want you to format it. So you can go through each of the 3 different recordings. We have actually, let me pull up also the the rubric so we could go through it.
Yeah, I think the rubric would be better to start off.
Yeah.
So people can see where it is. So it's in week 2, right? And this
Mhm.
all is due, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday.
Right. And so this whole assignment is just to introduce you guys to the different types of recordings that you can do within Zoom, how Zoom works, what the university provides you in terms of like how you can set up your Zoom account, because we have it set up with Zoom Workplace. So we have different AI features, which we'll explore next week. Like we said, different recordings, local, cloud, which you'll go through during the assignment. And basically like this whole assignment is just making sure that you are setting up your settings so that we can see your toolbar, like you can see mine right now. And that your YouTube is set up. So I guess like in terms of steps, what you're going to be doing is first you're setting up your YouTube Live. And so you'll be using your personal Google account, and you'll go into your personal YouTube account and choose live. And as like if you go to the sample assignment, you'll see like all the steps broken out to you, like a visual representation of them. But why we're introducing this assignment to you so early is that last semester, everyone wanted to start this assignment 24 hours before it was due. And it takes 24 hours to do your YouTube live and to get it set up. So if you could this week, try and go into your personal account, set up your YouTube live, and then you'll basically be almost like halfway there in terms of your assignment. And so after you have that set up, you'll go into your Zoom settings within Miami. So literally, if you type in zoom.miami.edu, it takes you to your Zoom settings. Sorry, my computer's so slow. And that's where you'll set up the settings that we want you to have. I'm like a really nice TA, and anything that's in quotations, you literally can copy and paste into like the settings toolbar, and you'll find the exact settings that I want you to turn on. So you'll just go through, make sure that all of the settings we have listed in quotations within the rubric are either turned on or some of them are turned off, like requiring a passcode for your cloud recordings. We have that to off, because if I can't see the recording, then I have nothing to grade. And that's not a good thing. And so you just go through these different settings. And then once you have your settings in order, some of them are within zoom.miami.edu, some of them within the app itself. Oh my gosh. Can you take me to my toolbar, please? Sorry, you're gonna see your face again. Goodness gracious, I can't pull up my toolbar. There we go. Some of them will be within your Zoom Workplace app itself. Just follow the directions. It's fairly simple.
And you have a recording of this.
Yeah, I have a recording as well where you can find all of these settings. I walk through all of them.
Okay, great.
That's within the sample assignment. So I guess what I more want to highlight when going through this rubric is how you'll actually record the assignment itself. And so, like, within Zoom, right, you can have, I don't know, can I like show my, no, I'll turn off the recording. You'll have a choice between record to your computer or record to the cloud. When you're recording locally, you're recording to your computer. So you'll click on the meeting, start it. You'll record to the computer, you'll talk about how local recordings work, what kind of file they're formatted in, and how they're stored on your device. And then after you do that, like 1 minute explanation, you'll end your local recording and start your cloud recording. And you can do this all in the same meeting. So make sure you're doing it all simultaneously. And so you'll start your cloud recording, and then once you turn on that cloud recording, you'll discuss how they work, and then turn on your live stream, which can be done through Zoom as well.
That's the whole purpose, is that that the whole purpose is that you're in Zoom, you don't have to leave Zoom. You're going then to use what they call the LTI, or the connector that Zoom has provided to allow you to go to YouTube.
And after you have like your YouTube live stream all set up and it's streaming on YouTube, you're going to go through all of the steps that you implemented on Zoom, like for your Zoom app. Oh, there's my personal meeting area. And you'll just go through all of the different settings you turned on. And it's nice also to, like, if you added like an explanation on why, like, it's important to have these settings on, like, especially for the toolbar. If I didn't set up in a workplace area that, like, just show my screen windows, my gosh, please pull up my settings. Oh, there we go. Like if I didn't have this like check mark here, include sharing toolbar annotation, then you wouldn't be seeing any of this. And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's a really like simple assignment. It's just kind of understanding the different tools of Zoom. Well, different recordings of Zoom. And then next week, once you have all your settings in order, you're gonna get together with groups and talk about the different like tools that Zoom offers, like polls.
So where should they upload? So do you want to go to
yeah, I'll go. Yeah.
Canvas
So
of what they need to do?
you're
Once
like-
they finish the assignment, where do they go to upload?
You're
all
just
of their
gonna
work.
upload to this assignment 1. It's gonna have anything that has a due date under it is something that you have to upload like this, or that's something that you have to do.
So it'll be under so it'll be under assignment.
Yeah, it's under
right?
week 2,
So if you clicked on under assignment, you would see
the
it there.
assignment. No, we don't show, no. We show the assignment tab in Canvas. Where's the student view? It'll be under week 2 module
Okay,
as assignment 1.
okay, assignment. Perfect.
And you'll be able to you should be uploading one thing, which is your MP4. So you can look at the different types.
See here it says upload, right?
Yeah. So you should be uploading your MP4 file, which is going to be your local recording that you'll get after the meeting's over. And then you're going to use the text box portion to put in your cloud local recording link and your YouTube live link. And then below that, you're going to have your AI summary, which Canvas, Zoom will like create for you. And then you're going to write out key takeaways of the assignment and what
And you
you've
have a
learned.
sample of what it should look like.
Yes, which is what I was on the first time. You have it right before like a list of what everything's due. Now, the only reason my local recording is like this is because I like as a page within Canvas, I can't upload actual files. But this is, I guess this is like the way that I did it is kind of like a last minute. If you're having a hard time uploading your file, do it. I uploaded my MP4 file to my Google Drive, and I had my MP4 file. I don't want to hear myself talk, but I had that. I created it as a link, and then added it onto my.
Okay, so this
box.
is what your sample assignment should look like.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll talk about it on Wednesday as well. My purpose, Lily, for you to come in and show this early is I'd like our students, especially those that have completed even the first assignment, is to start this and get their YouTube live account and try going through. So what I'd like to have you do is create a tutorial using Zoom showing other people how to go about saving to your computer, recording to your computer, recording to the cloud, and the features of Zoom. Using YouTube's, using streaming live to YouTube. And do you put there the link to YouTube as well? And you have your link to YouTube as well. So you can make sure that that is working as well. So it's the beginning of exactly, Josh, following what I've done. In class, you'll be able to know how to do it. So I'd like those students to try it out for Wednesday if you have time, and then we can see what are the issues that you have. Because the problem is, if we wait till next Monday, by the time you have those issues, Wednesday, the assignment is due. So I wanted to give you a little heads up on that. Okay, anything else, Issa, that you wanted to share?
Yes, I also made a tutorial so that you guys could follow along. It's literally a step-by-step, like where to even click. So I will be uploading that onto Canvas so you guys can follow
Yeah.
that. I would say like the most challenging part is probably just being like the timing of things. So just make sure you actually do it with time. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to submit it. And the password, because that always seems to be a problem throughout last semester. Just make sure it doesn't have a password so I can grade it.
Perfect. Any comments?
We'll
Go ahead.
definitely be like reminding you throughout the week. Set up your YouTube live, set up your YouTube live. So we're telling you guys like way in advance too, like about the YouTube live. So if it's
Yeah.
if it's next Tuesday and you're emailing me at 5 o'clock that you don't have a YouTube live set up, I might not be as kind.
Well, it's not even kind. We're letting you know that it's out of our control.
Right.
What YouTube, I can't control. Basically, it's Google, right? I cannot control YouTube, and it takes time. And sometimes there's issues. You have an account, and sometimes, but if you're having issues, you need to document it. It's not enough to say, I just couldn't do it. You need to document along the way what were the issues. And that's basically the essence of the course, is being able to try out new technologies, and when we get stuck and it's not working, that we document it and see if we can find solutions to it. Sometimes we can't find a solution, but at least we've documented that this is an error that we're getting. Okay, I think that's it. Anything else, Lily or Issa, that you wanted to share? Just wanted to show the students about that part. Okay, and the PowerPoint is then uploaded to week 1 as well on Canvas?
Yes.
That new one? Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks, Lily. So I appreciate it. And then if you have any other questions, you can contact Issa about it. And Lily, you also have her email as well. And we'll discuss it more, and we'll see once people are trying it. I want people to get hands-on experience. So every week we'll do the readings, plus we'll do hands-on experience. Any comments? So Alec, Tyra, anything in the chat that I need to address, or did you have questions about before Lily leaves us?
There's nothing
saying about the tune. There's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing right now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thanks, Lily. Okay. Any questions? All right. So Ali, did you read the article that I asked you, the 2 articles that I asked you for last week? Did you read those, Alec?
I don't think I got to those yet.
Okay. All right. So we have, let me just share my screen a bit. So I'm sharing my screen. And if you see, everybody sees my screen. Diego, you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So if I looked at my screen here, and this may be, Issa, that we may want to talk about, is we have that chapter 1 due Wednesday. This Wednesday, everything is what we need to have due. And if you look at it, you see here, you need to sign up for Wiley Plus. You need to do chapter 1, the adaptive, the quizzes. And then I ask everyone to register for the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and Financial Times. Have you done that, Alec, yet?
Yes, I did that.
Okay, so you did this. You go to the library, and one of the beauties here is you can get free subscriptions. I have 2 articles here that I wanted you to read. One was on AI chatbots. It was a regular article. And the other one, Tyra, did you read this Wall Street Journal article? Or did you look at the video?
I went onto it, but I wasn't able to read it, no.
Okay, so on this article, let me just open this in a new tab. Let's see if it comes up. This was the article. Hayden, do you see that? How AI models from OpenAI and Anthropic went rogue?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. They have a video that goes on about that, on how OpenAI and Anthropic went rogue, and it says, watch to learn how AI agents escaped sandbox environments and hacked a separate company, leading calls for regulation. So what I'd like you to do is, everyone, Tyra, is basically in this article is to review this article, this video on OpenAI, Anthropic, and Meta. And even there's from China, there's Moonshot. And this is a way that people are freaking out. And they said, maybe we need government regulations. So when you listen to this article, and let me stop sharing for a moment. When you listen to this article, the problem is there's a lot of AI, what I call jargon, or AI vocabulary that we need to know first. So what I thought to do today is to go over the AI concepts and technology. How does that sound, Julia? Julia, did you look at the readings yet?
I did look at both of the readings.
Okay, and what did you think about the one with the video? Did you understand it?
Not entirely. I think I'm probably gonna go back and look.
Okay, so what did you, so in essence, basically, this is the case. Let's start with this. Let me just even do this. Let me share my screen again. And if I share my screen, you see here, let me go back to this part here. Let's go to modules. Everybody go to modules. And what I've done is I've created for you what I call, it says, everybody see that AI vocabulary handout? Do you see that, Tyra? So I'm just going to go through, let me just go through my PowerPoint here. Let me just go through file. Let me go through this. And basically, I want you have it as well. I want to go over it with you of what we call frontier AI and risk management. And basically, the key vocabulary that you need, Julia, when you're looking at that article to understand and get a good feel for. So the idea is this. Everybody is familiar with ChatGPT or Claude, right? Or Gemini, right, Alec? Are you familiar with those, right? What we basically have is, when we talk about frontier models in AI, that means the most advanced models of AI systems. When we use the regular ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, we use what they call large language models. It's models that have been used and have been tested. Right now in the labs, in OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, or in Anthropic, or in Google for Gemini, they're testing out the latest models. And those latest models are basically, you can think about is their bleeding edge. It's as if, let me just go back up. It's if kind of that you can think about it. And let me just move this about, is if you can think about it, is almost the cutting edge of the aerospace industries, basically, of ways in which the meeting here is it's unpredictable, their risk. So what they ended up doing is when they test these models, they just don't throw it out to the internet that everybody can use. They have what they call sandbox containment, Tyra. Sandbox containment means we're going to set up these models in a secure, isolated environment. And it's before we're going to release it to the public, and we're going to test it so we don't just expose it to the internet. So it's not complete. So it's going to be completely blocked off from the live internet. So it basically, developers then can try it out. If there's any AI glitches or if it goes wild, that damage will only exist in the sandbox. Do you understand that, Julia? So basically, companies are having to try out these new software models to make sure. Have you ever heard of guardrails, Julia? What does the guardrail mean?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay. Have you ever seen on a road, a winding road, and it has like a guardrail so you don't go off the cliff?
Oh, yeah, a guardrail, yes.
Right. So what happens is in AI models, they want to have guardrails that you don't go into a place that you don't belong to. It's as if, when you're talking to AI and you're talking about your problems, you don't want to say, I feel so bad, I want to commit suicide. You don't want the AI to tell you, listen, Dr. Rush, let me tell you ways in which you can do it. That, and I say, this is the way that I want to commit suicide. And they say, no, we got a better way for you to do it, right? So you want to have the guardrails. When I'm talking about suicide, what do I want it to say, Julia, is this is a number you need to call to get mental health, right? Mental health. You don't want to do it. So that's what we wanted. So those AI glitches are part of the sandbox. And then what they usually tell the AI when they test out their models is they have what they call a reward mechanism. They tell the AI model, this is what I want you to do at the end. This is what I want you to do. Like I could even tell you, this is in a corporate sales commission idea. I could tell you, I want you to get the most, customers, but I don't want you to get them illegally, right? So in this case, I want you to do it truthfully. I want you to follow all the rules here. And in this case, I want you to pick up the trash, and all of a sudden you take things that aren't the trash and put it in a bag. So it's the idea here in the reward mechanism, the mathematical scoring system uses it to train an AI model, because AI is being trained over and over again. And when the AI receives points for good outcomes, and they get penalties for bad outcomes. So it's as if, Julia, I wanted you to do the best in the class, right? And but in a way, for that reward mechanism, you could do open book and you say, oh, I cheated, right? I don't want you to cheat. I want you to do the best you can in your reward mechanism without cheating. So what happens here is we have what they call open weight systems. And in open weight systems are AI models where the core internal blueprints, their settings, all their parameters that go into the model, they're called weights, how much strength we give to each one, are made completely public and downloadable to anyone. These open weight systems you can think about it, is the secrets are given online. Like for Coca-Cola, basically their recipe, KFC, anyone can download it and use it whatever they want without needing permission. A lot of times we use the word open in computerese, meaning that it's open to the public. So sometimes there's closed models and sometimes they're open weight models. And what is reward hacking? Reward hacking is when an AI finds an unintended loophole or a shortcut to maximize the score. It's like cheating, right? And technically achieving its programming goal, but violating the spirit of the rules or causing unexpected damage. That's what they call reward hacking. So, what did the model do? They're testing out all their frontier models. And again, Shannon, what's a frontier model? A frontier model are their most advanced systems that they haven't released. And what they are doing in the sandbox, in this secure environment, are basically like playing a game and seeing if we can be a hacker and hack other systems, find their weaknesses, find their vulnerabilities, and then correct those vulnerabilities. And people in society do that all the time for a living. Security specialists, sometimes they're called the white hats or black hats, is they'll try to be a hacker in a company, and to be able to tell the company, these are ways in which you almost have open doors. Think about your own house or think about your own car. Diego, do you have a car?
Yep.
Okay. And what do when you park? What is the first thing do you lock your doors?
Yeah.
Why do you lock your doors?
So that nobody goes into my car and
Right. So you want to put controls in, right? Not make it easy. You just don't want to have it open there, right? And say, come steal my car, right? You don't want to make it so easy that you leave everything open. Same thing with your house. You don't want to leave the door open. At least you want to lock it, right? You want to put an alarm system on your house. What to put controls. Now, once you have those controls, then what they'll do, if I have a luxurious mansion, what I may do is I may hire a company to come in and say, where am I vulnerable? So they say, you know what, you have too many hedges there in your house that people can be hiding when you come home. Or the back door, you leave the back door open. Or you put a brick there so people can go in, right? So they're doing it. So what they do in these companies for these AIs is they do like hacking system. And instead of people hacking, Jeremy, what do you think they use? They use AI agents to hack them. And they don't even use one AI agent. They have swarms of AI agents, many agents trying to hack into a system. But they thought they did it in a closed environment. But somehow, Julia, what happened, they weren't regular hackers. They were all these AI agents. And it's as if the AI agents had a reward, and the reward was to hack another company. But they got out of their system and they just basically said, this is our reward and we're going to cheat. And they basically, a number of these AI agents together hacked another company and found their vulnerabilities. And supposedly the authors of the agents didn't know they were able to do that. So what's wrong with that? All of a sudden, governments are really freaking out. Companies are freaking out and saying, hey, we're trying to protect our data from actual hackers, humans. Now we have to worry about AI agents that are doing something malicious. And while they're testing it, they didn't even mean to be malicious, and it got out of control. So that's why when you think about listening to that video, you'll hear sandbox. And already you know, Julia, that a sandbox means what? That it's going to be a secure environment, and it's as if it escaped. And Jeremy, and it sounds almost freaky, right? Almost you get scared that all these agents, when you want them to do good, they can also just basically, you say, they can cheat and they can go off on their own. And they even communicated one agent to another agent, kind of telling them where were the vulnerabilities and how to cheat and how to get and attack another company. So what do you think about that, Jeremy? What's the implication for business?
I think once again, there's still so much that has to be learned from AI. And beginning with guardrails is always a good place to start, but there's only so much you can do since it's something still new. There's still so much that has to be learned, and over time,
the
hopefully we'll
frontiers,
get to a point
they're
that
basically, when you think about it, these are the frontier models that haven't even been released to us.
right.
And now they're trying, they have a new program, I know, OpenAI did, that they offered academic researchers to try out their frontier models. Why? So they could have more people test them out to see what are the problems, what are the vulnerabilities. So those are the, and why am I showing you this? We're going to be doing a lot of AI agents ourselves, and I can see the positivity of all this AI, but there'll be other ways in which we need to be cautious, and there'll be other opportunities for people to even audit the AI agents. Just like there's in auditing, there's going to be new job opportunities and needing for what we call AI governance to find out in a company even what are all these AI agents doing, because we're letting each person in the company create their own AI agents. And you don't even know, Jeremy, what I'm creating, your agents, and how it's going to interact with yours, and even to keep track. And of course, you're going to have possibilities for malicious ones, and it's going to be a lot easier for people, for the agents to find where the weaknesses are in companies. Where before they're having so much problems in cybersecurity, there's going to be even more that they're going to have to adjust quickly. So it's almost like those two sides, and we're not aware of what's happening. So that's the whole idea of guardrails. But do we even know what guardrails are being put in? A lot of this is not open. When you use, what models do you use? Have you used, Jeremy? Do you use
I've used ChatGPT before and Claude mainly.
right. And do you know what guardrails they put in?
No, I
No
don't.
way. I don't know, you don't know, right? So in the idea, if we put these in just before, you don't know what they're screaming, and it's almost a learning process that everybody's going through. And that's why a lot of people are saying, I want to use more open source products that maybe I know my own guardrails, or companies are saying now, I don't want to be able, my data to go to the cloud. I want to start creating systems that I even have an idea of what's happening in my enterprise. That's what they're having problems. And these are what companies are trying to deal with today. So I wanted you to have those, Julia. Does that help? You think going back to even review that video of what's happening there? Hopefully it will. Okay, any other comments? So you can see here the guardrails happening. And are those definitely each said, did you look on who among your group has not signed up?
Everybody has.
Pardon?
Everybody signed in. I think both sections actually.
Okay, perfect. So everybody signed in. Just get the first assignment. It's not a big deal of getting the readings out. You can do that in the adaptive. And then I would like you to start looking at Zoom, because we're going to be using Zoom and all of its capabilities. We'll be using it throughout our projects, that I want to have everybody be familiar with all the aspects of Zoom, not just to be a user, but to be a host. And the first things that you need to know is we have the wonderful advantage, Jeremy, of having access to the enterprise version of Zoom, and we can host our own. So everybody part of the education community here with a .edu that's registered here can use all the features of Zoom. So you can be your own host rather than you just logging into mine. Later on, I can log into your meeting. And basically, and later on we'll learn if I'm having a problem or somebody else is having a problem, and you give permission, you can help me on my computer if I give it, and we'll learn about, you know, what is the AI and companion and all the features in Zoom. So that's going to be my what I'll call my hands-on assignment. So the first one will be the hands-on assignment. And then once everybody does the hands-on assignment, that's why it's important this week that you set up your YouTube account to go live. And you don't want to use your University of Miami email. You want to create, if you don't, and most people have it, your own Gmail account. So if by chance you don't have a Gmail account, personally, which is free, everybody has to sign up for a Gmail account, which most people have, and you'll use that account to use your YouTube Live. Why? Because you'll have control of it. The account the university gave you, you don't have control. You have an administrator that was in charge of your account. Okay? Any other questions? So Isa, if you can be so kind and set up attendance, and if you have additional questions, stay with me. And Diego, you can, since you're new, you can stay with me as well.
It's 1323.
1323. Okay. So everybody go into their attendance for today, and I'll see everybody on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we'll start talking about hardware, and we'll also be talking about additional features of Zoom and additional articles. So I wish everybody a good day, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tira, for moderating.
Thank you very much.
The Geo seems to get, Logan, are you there? So let me stop recording.
Mhm.
And yes, and let me go to YouTube and I'll stop my